Hello dear students, welcome back to the second session of the topic linkers. In the previous session, we discussed conjunctions. We discussed the types of conjunctions. They are coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions and conjunctive adverbs. And we have seen how these conjunctions work in sentences. And we have also understood that conjunctions connect words, phrases and clauses in a sentence. Well, in this session, I would like to discuss with you about how to use transitions within paragraphs. We will see the common ways of linking sentences by using linkers or cohesive devices. Well, transitions are also called cohesive devices. So, what is a cohesive device then? Cohesive devices are words and phrases used to connect ideas between sentences. It helps the reader to absorb ideas in a text. So, without cohesive devices, the paragraphs that we read and write will lead us to confusion and it becomes harder to understand. Now, how to improve the use of cohesive devices in writing? Now, you can't simply learn a long list of words and phrases thinking that you can use them correctly. It would be like Virat Kohli telling you how he scores so many runs and thinking you can also do the same thing just by listening to him. No, it's not like that. The only way to learn cohesive devices is reading and writing practice. You have to read a particular paragraph or you have to read a particular passage. You have to understand it and you have to observe how the ideas are connected between sentences in that passage. Memorizing cohesive devices won't help you at all. So, as I already told you, the only way to learn cohesive devices is reading and writing practice, the constant reading and writing practice. So, before we begin to talk about how to link sentences, how to use transitions in paragraphs, let us see the common ways of linking sentences separately. That means, we will see the sentence examples first, then we will understand how to link sentences in a paragraph by using linkers or cohesive devices. And then we will see how to connect ideas between sentences in paragraphs. Now, there are so many linkers, each one carries its own function depending upon the job that it does between sentences. Now, we have linkers to express addition, words like and. We have linkers to express contrast, words like but. We have linkers to express consequence. Consequence is nothing but the result. Something has happened, what is the result of it or what is the outcome of it? So, we have linkers to express consequence, words like so. We have linkers to express cause and effect, words like because. We have linkers to express time, words like while. Similarly, we have linkers to express purpose. We have linkers to express purpose, phrases like in order to. And similarly, we use words such as across, nearby, etc. to express the place. Similarly, we have linkers to express concession, words like though, and we have linkers to express condition, words like if, and we have linkers to express comparison, words like as. Now there are alternatives to these words because these words are fairly informal words, but for academic writing you may have to choose alternatives to make your sentences more academic, more varied and more sophisticated. Now first we will see the sentence examples of few words or few linkers written on the board, and then we will see and then we will discuss about the alternatives to these linkers or words written on the board. First we will take addition. The word and is the most commonly used addition linker in English. Now we will see one sentence example to learn how we use the word and in a sentence. She didn't speak to anyone and nobody spoke to her. So here in this sentence you can see the linker and connects two different parts of this sentence. It connects two different clauses in this sentence, that is, she didn't speak to anyone is the first one and nobody spoke to her is the second one. So the word and connects two different parts of a sentence. Now it is important to note that in academic writing we don't usually start a sentence with and. Better alternatives at the beginning of a sentence are additionally, in addition to, in addition to that, besides that, furthermore, and as well as. These words usually go at the beginning of a second sentence followed by a comma like this. As I already told you, these words usually go at the beginning of a second sentence followed by a comma like this. Now these words usually go at the beginning of a second sentence followed by a comma like this. Now there are alternatives to the word and, such as and, moreover, also, such as, similarly, then, etc. Now let us see few sentence examples. You can pay bills over the internet. Additionally, you can check your balance and order statements. So here the linker is additionally. Let us see one more example. In addition to that. We use the phrase in addition to that to mention another idea that is connected with the subject we are discussing. For example, part-time English classes are offered. In addition to that, students can also attend computer classes. Part-time English classes are offered. In addition to that, students can also attend computer classes. So here you can see the phrase in addition to that is used to connect the idea with the subject we are already discussing. That is, part-time English classes are offered. So you can see here this linker, that is in addition to that, start a new sentence followed by a comma here. Similarly, in the next sentence, there is a postage and packing fee in addition to the there is a postage and packing fee in addition to the repair charge. Here you should notice that the phrase in addition to is not started with a new sentence, but you can see a single sentence here. There is a postage and packing fee in addition to the repair charge. So the linker is in addition to. Let us see one more example. Besides that, he ate a sandwich besides that, comma, he drank an orange juice. He drank an orange juice. So here the linker is besides that. Similarly, in the next sentence, my sisters as well as my brother are tall. My sister as well as my brother are tall. So the phrase as well as is the linker here. Notice that in all these sentences we are adding one idea with another. Now let us look at contrast linkers. Contrast linkers are used to connect ideas that have opposite meaning, that have contrast meaning. The word but is the most commonly used contrast linker in English. It is neither formal nor informal, but it is quite neutral. Now there are other alternatives to the word but, either to be more precise or to avoid repetitions. But these other alternatives to the word but require or demand a different sentence structure. Now to show contrast, you can use words such as but, though, although, even though, nevertheless, despite, however, in spite of, etc. Now to show contrast, you can use words like but, though, although, even though, nevertheless, despite, however, in spite of, etc. Now these words are used to introduce a clause that contrasts what has already been mentioned in a sentence. Now let us see an example to understand this. There was a deadline for the assignment. There was a deadline for the assignment, but the student has got it extended. Now this is the sentence. There was a deadline for the assignment, but the student has got it extended. Now as you can see here in this sentence, the word but or the linking word but is introducing a clause, that is, the student has got it extended, to contrast what has already been mentioned in this sentence, that is, there was a deadline for the assignment. So the linking word in this sentence is but. Now we can also make this into two sentences by using the linking word however. Let us see. There was a deadline for the assignment, full stop. However, comma, the student has got it extended. So as you can see here in this sentence, the word however is used in this way, usually goes at the beginning of a second sentence followed by a comma like this, or it can come after a semicolon followed by a comma like this. Well, in this sentence, as I already told you, the linking word however is introducing a clause here, that is, the student has got it extended, to contrast what has already been mentioned in this sentence, that is, there was a deadline for the assignment. So the linking word is however. Well, another alternative to the word but is the word although. Notice that it comes at the beginning of a sentence before the first clause and not in the middle of a second clause. For example, although there was a deadline for the assignment, although there was a deadline for the assignment, comma, the student has got it extended. So here in this sentence, the linking word is although. Now, if we want to put more emphasis on the same sentence, we can also use linking words such as nevertheless and despite. Now, let us imagine that the student has got extended the deadline for 2 weeks. This is a long time for an extension. Now, we want to show this by using other linking words. So, we can use linking words such as nevertheless and despite to show this. Now let us see a few examples to understand this. There was a deadline for the assignment, full stop. Nevertheless, comma, the student has got it extended by 2 weeks. As I already told you, here the linking word nevertheless is introducing a clause that contrasts what has already been mentioned in this sentence, that is, there was a deadline for the assignment. So here the linking word is nevertheless. Similarly, we can also use the linking word despite. Let us see. Despite the deadline for the assignment, comma, the student has got it extended. The student has got it extended by 2 weeks. So this is the sentence. Despite the deadline for the assignment, the student has got it extended by 2 weeks. Now you should observe that when we use the word despite as the linking word, it should be followed by a noun, not a clause. Or we can say, despite the fact that, despite the fact that, plus a clause if we want to use a clause after it. In that case, the sentence would be like this. Despite the fact that there was a deadline for the assignment, the student has got it extended by 2 weeks. Now we can summarize contrast linkers like this. Sentence, full stop, however, comma, sentence, sentence, full stop, nevertheless, comma, sentence, full stop, although, sentence, comma, sentence, full stop, despite plus noun, comma, sentence, full stop, despite the fact that, sentence, comma, sentence, full stop. Now there is one final point I want to tell you before I complete this contrast linkers. That is, you should not use the contrast linker but if you have already used another contrast linker in the same sentence. This is a common mistake. For example, although there was a deadline for the assignment, comma, but the student has got it extended, Here you should observe that there is no need of using the contrast linker but here, because we have already used another contrast linker although in the beginning of the sentence. Similarly, in the next sentence, despite the high percentage of enrollments, but the students did not attend the seminar. Even in this sentence, you can see there is no need of using the contrast linker but, because we have already used another contrast linker, that is despite, in the beginning of this sentence. Okay, dear students, in this session we have understood how the linkers express addition and contrast. And we have also understood and we have also discussed that how we use linkers to express addition and contrast. Well, in the next session, we will discuss how the remaining linkers, how the other linkers express consequence, cause, effect, time, place, purpose and comparison. And we will also discuss how we use linkers to connect ideas between sentences in a paragraph. And we will also do some exercises from the workbook. Okay, dear students, I conclude my session here and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.